Welcome back to our channel, dear viewers, where we bring you the most riveting, behind-the-scenes sagas of the British royal family. Tonight's report centres on a single glittering jewel, a cascade of diamonds and pearls that has set Buckingham Palace abuzz with tension, whispered rivalries, and questions of legacy and power. We're talking, of course, about the legendary lover's knot tiara, the very heirloom that once adorned Diana, Princess of Wales, and now finds itself at the heart of a fierce struggle between Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Queen Camilla, the newly crowned Queen Consort. Prepare yourselves for a journey through candlelit corridors, hushed palace halls, and the contest of hearts and crowns that has defined Windsor's latest saga. It all began quietly, behind the closed doors of the private apartments at Buckingham Palace. A memorandum, slipped beneath the keyhole of the senior ladies-in-waiting, declared that the Queen Consort, Camilla, would henceforth have precedence over the palace's most storied tiaras, including the lover's knot. In Windsor, where tradition is woven into the very tapestries that line its walls, such a decree reverberates like thunder. Camilla, for decades the subject of public debate and close-up scrutiny, had finally secured her place at the pinnacle of royal etiquette, but at what cost? The world first caught wind of the drama at the Grand Diplomatic Corps reception, the crown jewel of the royal calendar. Picture this: the grand ballroom, its frescoed ceilings aglow with crystal chandeliers, the air thick with the scent of white roses and the soft hum of polite conversation in 50 languages. Ambassadors draped in silk and velvet glided across marble floors, seeking royal favor. A hush of anticipation fell as the royal procession entered. First, King Charles and Queen Camilla, resplendent in their finery, Charles in his military decorations, Camilla in a midnight blue velvet gown crowned by Granny's tiara, the girls of Great Britain and Ireland, its diamonds glittering like distant stars. The applause was polite, restrained. Then, Catherine appeared. The doors swung open, and there she was, emerald velvet gown trailing behind her, her posture regal, her smile calm yet knowing. And perched atop her head, like something conjured from starlight, was the lover's knot tiara, 16 intertwined diamond knots supporting 19 luminous pearls, each a testament to century-long history and the resilience of the women who wore it. The room fell utterly silent. Diplomats set aside their glasses, courtiers paused mid-whisper. In that suspended moment, time seemed to bow before Catherine's luminous presence. That tiara is no mere ornament. Commissioned for Queen Mary in 1914 by the House of Gerard, it graced royal gatherings at the height of Edwardian splendor. It then passed, by personal gift, to Diana upon her 1981 wedding, transforming from a symbol of dynastic rule into an emblem of modern compassion and quiet strength. Diana wore it through state banquets, official tours, and deeply personal moments, until her tragic death in 1997. For nearly 2 decades, it lay dormant in the royal vaults, a sleeping legend. Catherine awakened it in 2015 on a state visit to Denmark, and since then it has been her most dramatic statement, a living link between past and future, memory and hope. The effect of Catherine's appearance was instantaneous, almost electric. Cameras flashed as though capturing lightning. Social media ignited with a global chorus of admiration. Within moments, #LoversNot and #DianaLivesOn were trending worldwide. Fans posted side-by-side photos of Diana and Catherine, both wearing the tiara at the same age, the same poise, an uncanny echo that felt like destiny. Newspapers dished headlines: Princess of Hearts reclaims Diana's crown, Queen versus Princess, the tiara showdown, Camilla's gaze falters as Catherine commands the room. Queen Camilla, for her part, held her ground. In the days following the reception, she appeared at charity events and hospital visits, her demeanor gracious, her smile unwavering. Yet those closest to her whispered of quiet anguish. Insiders spoke of Camilla's deliberate decree, her assertion of precedence over the palace's head jewelry, as an attempt to cement her own legacy, a legacy long contested by public opinion. But in claiming Diana's tiara, she touched a nerve too deep to soothe with protocol. The public, whose love Diana once commanded, recoiled at the thought of that emblem passing to another. For them, the lover's knot tiara is not simply a piece of jewelry, but a vessel of grief, of affection, of a woman fiercely beloved. Behind the scenes, palace aides scrambled. Protocol officers pored over dusty tomes of unwritten tradition, seeking precedent for a solution. A tiara charter was whispered into being, drafted hastily in leather-bound diaries, intended to preserve both Camilla's authority and Catherine's custodianship. One anonymous footman described the atmosphere as electric tension, like standing on the edge of a storm. Courtiers found themselves dancing between loyalty to the queen and sympathy for the princess, their own hearts tugged by the weight of public sentiment. Meanwhile, Catherine's defense only grew more determined. In the quiet of her royal apartments, she spoke of the tiara's significance. "This is more than diamonds and pearls," she confided to her dresser. "It is Diana's promise of compassion. I wear it not for myself, but for her memory, for the people she touched." Those words, whispered in the hush of a dressing room, spread like wildfire when quoted by palace insiders. She positioned herself as the guardian of a people's love, a role that resonated powerfully in an era where authenticity outweighs authority. Camilla, however, would not be outdone. At a lavish gala held in the palace's crimson drawing room, she made a striking appearance, her granny's tiara shining boldly against her silver-threaded gown. She circulated among dignitaries, discussing arts patronage and launching a new literacy foundation, all with impeccable grace. Yet the headlines were muted. The world's gaze remained fixed on Catherine's lover's knot, sparkling defiantly against the night. As the weeks passed, the drama extended beyond palace walls into classrooms, book clubs, and cafes around the world. Students debated what the tiara's conflict said about heritage and progress. Book clubs pored over biographies of Diana and Camilla, comparing their paths. Even polling data suggested that Catherine's popularity edged higher, buoyed by her stand. The tiara dispute had transcended celebrity gossip. It had become a touchstone for discussions about leadership, legacy, and the evolving role of royalty in modern society. Rumors now whisper of a Tiara Summit, a secret conference where senior royals, palace historians, and government diplomat liaisons will attempt to codify new protocols for crown jewels. Will such a charted compromise calm the storm, or will it only underscore the gap between tradition and emotion? Many doubt any regulation can withstand the force of public affection. In a world where a single tweet can topple reputations, the monarchy's survival may hinge less on lineage and more on the capacity to honor collective memory. In the quiet aftermath of public spectacles, Buckingham Palace's corridors revert to their serene hush, but the echoes of that tiara's clash linger. Catherine, standing before the grand mirror in her private salon, adjusts the lover's knot tiara with measured reverence, as though feeling Diana's spirit in each pearl and diamond. Across the hallway, Camilla sits by her dressing table, surrounded by her own collection of heirlooms, contemplating the unspoken truth that a crown's greatest power lies not in its metal, but in the hearts it commands. So we ask you, loyal viewers, in the kingdom of hearts, whose crown truly shines brightest? The Queen Consort's stately gems, won through duty and perseverance? Or the People's Princess's tiara of undying public devotion, carried forward by a younger princess who wears it as a promise? Share your thoughts below, and if you've been captivated by this deep dive into Windsor's glittering intrigue, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more exclusive royal revelations. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary journey through history, memory, and the timeless power of a single crown, and until next time, may your own story sparkle as brightly as the diamonds we've unveiled tonight.